looking at the wrong? Yes, I'm looking at the wrong outline. Wow, that would have been ugly.
You've done pretty well so far, Liz. I don't know. Don't slip up now.
Thank you.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bridget, so sorry about your mother.
Thank you very much.
I didn't realize you have quite the family. It's a big crew.
Yep, I'm the youngest. Yeah.
Yeah. Had she been ill, Bridget?
The last year she's been kind of going down a little bit, but then she literally in less than a week just went from walking and joking too.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's hard.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a long week last week.
Yeah, very, very hard.
And then Bob and Izzy both have COVID.
I saw that. Oh my gosh. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, so it's been kind of fun at my house.
How are they feeling?
They both feel completely like they were hit by trucks.
Oh, okay.
They both still can smell and taste things, but they are just exhausted.
Yeah, so that's awful.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm ready to move out.
I'm sure.
I'm ready to go to a beach and just relax.
Oh, poor thing. Well, hopefully they will recover quickly.
Yes, hopefully.
The space you need to remember your mom and everything that you guys had together. That's really.
And the funeral's Saturday, Bridge?
Yeah, because I have brothers and sisters out of town.
Gotcha.
So they were going to make their way in.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill, that Summerfest does go to local government. Is that what you were asking me about? I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong outline and
Yes.
put something in wrong. Yeah, so yeah, that does go to local government, but I had the other two going to back to your committee.
How's everyone doing?
Hey, Mike.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we have everyone here or not, but might as well start our caucus.
Brian is joining. He's been joining for a minute now, so I don't know if he's having an issue but I'll keep watching on it.
Wait for a minute.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Mayor.
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 Hi, Mayor.
Hello.
How are you, Laura?
I'm fine. I see that my daughter has been changing my name to her name on here. I just now saw that it says Nina. That is my daughter's name. So.
Good evening.
Okay.
How's Brian looking, Liz?
He must have got out. I hope he's gonna try and get back on. I don't see him here.
Give him a couple of minutes.
Put the 96 on it. If my 96 ain't fucking.
Here he is.
Okay, council. Is everyone good with the minutes from January 19th?
Yeah.
Got a chance to check them out? Okay, all right, we have 3 committee reports tonight. Does everyone else have the committee reports?
Yes.
Yep. Ryan?
Yep.
Good, okay. Okay, Bill, you got a ordinance for first read?
Yes.
Bridget, you have 2 ordinances for first read?
Yes.
Bill, you have ordinances for second, and Bridget, you have 1 for second.
Yes.
I think I have 2 per second, don't I?
Do you have 2 for second?
Oh, no, sorry, 1.
Okay.
Sorry.
And Brian, you have 2 for passage without 3 reads.
Yep.
You're all set there?
Yep. Good to go.
All right, very good. All right, so we have some appointments to approve this evening. Sorry, my house sounds like a rather large hound. We have the mayor's appointment to senior life director to consider this evening. I see Laura's with us. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
And we also have an appointment to the Shade Tree Advisory Council, and I will entertain both of those during council's second time around.
Are both or how many applicants are going to be here tonight?
I'm not sure. I believe from what Liz told me before the meeting, only Kim has said that she was going to be present.
Right, well,
And
I did
will-
get an email from, I forwarded to everyone the update. After I sent that email, I got an email from,
Susan?
drawing a blank, Susan Denton, saying that she would try to make it work. So I'm still not sure if she's gonna be on for sure, but she did acknowledge that she got it, so.
Everyone has read the separate communications from each of the people interested.
I only saw the one from
Yeah.
Kimberly Mann, I think it was. I didn't see the other ones.
I believe Liz put all 3 of them on the agenda.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them right now.
On the agenda?
Yeah.
I don't see anything on the agenda about this.
The outline that I sent before the meeting is in there, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking we should at least have a conversation with, any interested applicants before making a voting decision on it.
Yeah, I'm going to give anyone an opportunity to speak tonight, and then I will open the floor for nominations.
Right. Well, I mean, it is pretty short notice, I think, for how this seems. I mean, if somebody isn't able to make it tonight.
They've
I mean, I
had
think-
since like October to apply though.
This has been a pretty long process. I mean, you're welcome to nominate whoever you like and vote for whoever you like, but yeah, we'll be doing it tonight.
Yeah, I just think that they should both be, I mean, we should have the opportunity to talk to everyone.
I believe the clerk reached out to everybody to give them an opportunity tonight.
Right, but one arbitrary date and time doesn't seem very fair on short notice.
I mean, as far as I knew, up until a couple days ago, there was only one person interested in this appointment anyway. So two people kind of came out of the woodwork here. We gave them the same opportunities as everyone else has had to come here. And like I said, you can nominate whoever you like and vote for whoever you like.
Right, but you know, as far as due diligence, I think having conversations, treating everybody the exact same and giving everybody the same opportunity, I think would be appropriate.
Yeah, I think everyone's been given the same opportunity here.
Because with the application, there's no deadline on it. So it's not like there's some arbitrary ending of the application deadline. And if only one person comes on tonight, and I don't know when the emails were sent or how much notice was actually given, but it doesn't sound like a whole lot of time.
Like I said, these two other applicants just came out of the woodwork 2 days ago. So, I mean,
right. It doesn't seem like
for a long time, and the council is waiting to get to work with a quorum. So,
right. 2 days and giving them one date and time to make doesn't seem appropriate.
well, like I said, you can nominate who you like and vote for who you like tonight. Okay. So yeah, we have those two appointments to take care of. And Ryan, do you have anything for roundtable?
No.
Okay, Bill.
I'm going to make a border control report, Mike.
All right. Maureen?
No, I do not, Mike.
Sarah?
You know what? I do have one thing. Mary Kay, if I may. I had a resident call me and notate that there is a water main break or some sort of water spill on West 220th. I guess there's quite a bit of ice buildup that you guys keep coming through and plowing. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, it is a Cleveland Division of Water leak. We spoke with our representative last week and asked him to go by and check it out because we've been salting it so that it doesn't become a hazard. They haven't updated us yet as to when it's going to be worked on. So we'll update you as soon as we hear. But he did last week go out and he actually physically checked on it for us.
Okay, thank you.
So we're just.
Oh, I was gonna say, I assume
Yeah,
there
because
are
it's
other more worse breaks in the surrounding areas right now. Are we going to continue to plow and salt it?
Oh yes, it's going to be attended to until it's repaired. So absolutely.
Thank you. If you could just keep me updated as you hear back, I'd appreciate it.
Will do.
Thanks. And that's all I had.
Sarah. Bridget?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Greg?
Nothing else.
Liz?
Just your friendly reminder that financial statements are due, and they're due in May, but the earlier the better. And I will be sending another email out to just get everyone's availability to receive their surfaces and key fobs. So that they can, the goal here, my goal anyway, is to try and have everyone in their hands and set up as we move into the budget portion of the year, so that you can have, yes, the paper will probably still be made available, but just as another resource or even another pair of, set another place to look, to have those available to get your questions and everything, and just actually have them to have shared documents. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Liz.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, you'd like to say something?
Yes, just a couple of things briefly. With respect to a possible executive session on some security matters, would people be available next Monday after the committee meeting?
Is this via Zoom or is this?
Via Zoom, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. we'll be sending a request to you in the next day or two on that. And then, as the council president mentioned earlier, I'll be nominating and asking for your consideration for Laura Pondos to be our, to remove the interim title from her title, make her the permanent senior life director. Laura started with the city, I think late 2000, maybe mid 2019. She stepped in when Regina left. She's been fantastic under very difficult circumstances. She hit the ground running and looking at ways we could reach out to our seniors due to the pandemic. She's coordinated with other local senior centers on best practices. We've had a lot of virtual events the last few months, and building on that success. She's helped to coordinate deliveries. We've been delivering meals to our seniors for a number of months, and it's she and the whole senior staff, they're really in tune to what people need. There's some people, she knows if they need a little extra help. We had some very generous donations at Christmas time from some residents and local businesses, and she had a good sense of the folks that could use that help. And the bottom line is clear to me, clear to anybody who's been working with Laura, that she really cares about our seniors, and she's been taking great care of them. I think it's a fine legacy with how Regina took care of our seniors. So I'm really happy to present her as a director and appreciate your consideration. I did reach out to Council President Kilbane and Councilman Minnick last week. I wasn't sure, I know you all had an opportunity to talk to her at the time of her interim appointment, and I'm not sure if you have any questions for her now. And if you want to, obviously we would defer to council's preference on this. So, but thank you, Laura. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for all the care that you've shown our seniors, and thank you, Council President Kilbane.
Thank you, Mayor Cooney. I have no issue with entertaining this motion to approve this evening. Is everyone else?
Thank you.
Is everyone on the council good with this?
Yeah.
Do we need more time?
I think this is perfectly acceptable. I have no qualms about this.
I agree.
Makes for a nice transition.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you, and you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
We'll continue to work together, Laura.
I look forward to it, Bill. I can't wait to see you back at the center.
The second home for a lot of people.
I know. We miss you.
All right, thank you. If there's nothing else, we'll start the regular meeting of council. So the regular meeting of council of the city of Fairview Park for Monday, February 1st, 2021 is now called to order. Have a moment of silent reflection. Give the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Simmerly.
Here.
Mr. Minnick.
Here.
Mrs. Adler.
Here.
Mr. Kilbane.
Here.
Mrs. Waring.
Here.
Mrs. King.
Here.
Mr. Berger.
Here.
All right, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of council January 19th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Mrs. Adler.
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Carries, the minutes are approved. We will now have this evening's committee reports, beginning with Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development. Councilman Minnick.
Thank you, Council President. The Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development Committee met on Monday, January 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m. via Zoom to discuss 3 ordinances. Ordinance 2101, authorizing McKay Engineering and Surveying Company to prepare plans and specifications and provide construction, administration, and bidding services for repair of city streets in year 31 of the street repair program. A motion to place this ordinance on second reading and subsequent third reading was approved 6-0. Ordinance 2102, authorizing the Director of Public Service and Development to advertise for bids and the mayor to enter a contract with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder as determined by the Board of Control for the work to be performed in year 31 of the street repair program. Director Costello stated there's a possibility that one of the utility companies may be doing work on Elmore Avenue, which is on the schedule. A motion to place this ordinance on second reading and return to committee was approved 6-0. Ordinance 2103, authorizing the Director of Public Service and Development to advertise for bids and the mayor to enter a contract with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder as determined by the Board of Control for water main replacements and pavement resurfacing on Cromwell Avenue, Parkwood Avenue, and Bain Park Drive. Motion to place this ordinance on second reading and subsequent third reading was approved 6-0. This completes my report, Council President.
Now, Local Government and Community Services, Councilman Simmerly.
Thank you, Council President. The Local Government and Community Services Committee met via teleconference on January 25th, 2021. Present were members of Council, Mayor Cooney, Director Costello, and Director Single. Council reviewed Ordinance 21-04, which is amending Chapter 707 Apartment Buildings of the Codified Ordinances, and Ordinance 21-05, which is amending Chapter 708 Rental Dwelling Residences of the Codified Ordinances. There was no additional comments or questions by members of Council, but Mayor Cooney offered his recommendation to pass both ordinances this evening on second reading. A vote to pass both ordinances on second reading passed 6-0. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, Finance, Councilwoman King.
Thank you, Council President. The Finance Committee met on Monday, January 25th, 2021 via telephone video conferencing and began at 7:13 p.m. In attendance were members of Council, the Mayor, and members of the administration and members of the community. Ordinance 2006, the TAC computer agreement for 2021 was discussed. TAC Computer has been the computer services by the Fairview Park Police Department for years. A few questions were asked, such as the amount of the contract is the same amount that was on the 2019 contract and does not list the additional services that were paid for in the 2020 contract. And a question was posed if the Fairview Park Police Department no longer wanted these additional services. A question was also posed is when the current contract expires. A motion was made to have this ordinance placed on second reading and returned to committee, and the motion passed with a vote of 6-0. The Finance Committee concluded at 7:15 p.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We will now begin this evening's legislative agenda with legislation for first reading. Councilman Minnick.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place one ordinance up for first reading.
Clerk, please assign a number and read the title.
Ordinance 2107, requested by Councilman Minnick, sponsored by City Council. An ordinance amending section 921.05A3 of the codified ordinances of the City of Fairview Park to permit the sale of beer and wine coolers only to be sold and consumed at Summerfest 2021 to be held in Boken Park on July 29th, 30th, 31st, and August 1st, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Ordinance 2107 is placed on first reading and assigned to the Local Government and Community Services Committee. Councilwoman King.
Council President, I would like to place two ordinances up for first reading tonight.
Thank you. Will the clerk please assign numbers and read the titles?
Ordinance 2108, requested by Mayor Patrick J. Cooney, sponsored by Councilwoman King, co-sponsored by Councilman Minnick. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with McKay Engineering and Surveying Company to conduct a planning study for reoccurring sewer flooding issues within the West 227th Street lift station area and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 2109, requested by Mayor Patrick J. Cooney, sponsored by Councilwoman King, co-sponsored by Councilman Minnick. An ordinance repealing and replacing Ordinance 2040 and authorizing the mayor and city administration to apply for, accept, and enter into a water pollution control loan fund agreement on behalf of the city of Fairview Park for planning, design, and/or construction of wastewater facilities and infrastructure, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Ordinances 2108 and 2109 are both placed on first reading and assigned to the Local Government and Community Services Committee. We'll now have legislation for second reading. Councilman Minnick.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2101, ordinance 2102, and ordinance 2103 on second reading.
The clerk please read the titles.
Ordinance 2101, requested by Mary Kay Costello, Director of Public Service and Development, sponsored by Councilman Minnick, co-sponsored by Councilwoman King. An ordinance authorizing McKay Engineering and Surveying Company to prepare plans and specifications and provide construction administration and bidding services for the repair of city streets in year 31 of the street repair program and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 2102, requested by Mary Kay Costello, Director of Public Service and Development, sponsored by Councilman Minnick, co-sponsored by Councilwoman King. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Development to advertise for bids and the mayor to enter into a contract with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder as determined by the Board of Control for the work to be performed in year 31 of the street repair program and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 2103, requested by Mary Kay Costello, Director of Public Service and Development, sponsored by Councilman Minnick, co-sponsored by Councilwoman King. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Development to advertise for bids and the mayor to enter into a contract with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder as determined by the Board of Control for water main replacements and pavement resurfacing on Cromwell Avenue, Parkwood Avenue, and Bain Park Drive, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Ordinances 2101, 2102, and 2103 are all placed on second reading, and I'll return to the Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development Committee. Councilwoman King.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to place ordinance 2106 up for second reading.
Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 2106, requested by Mayor Patrick J. Cooney, sponsored by Councilwoman King. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a service agreement with TAC Computer Incorporated and declaring an emergency.
Okay, ordinance 2106 is placed on second reading and returned to the Finance Committee. Okay, it's now time for audience input on legislation that is up for passage this evening. Clerk Westbrooks, have we received any communications to anyone wanting to speak on legislation that is up for passage this evening?
I received no communications. No communications, no.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we will have legislation for final passage without rereads. Councilman Simmerly.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2104 up for third reading and final passage.
Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 2104, requested by Mayor Patrick J. Cooney, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance amending Fairview Park Chapter 707 of the Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Councilman Simmerly.
Thanks, Council President. I move that charter provision in Rule 49 requiring that ordinance 2104 be read at three separate meetings be suspended and then it be placed before council for emergency passage.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Mrs. Adler.
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Motion carries. Prior to call roll on passage of ordinance 2021-04. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2104?
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Mrs. Adler,
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ordinance 2104 passes. Councilman Sitterly.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2105 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2105, requested by Mayor Patrick J. Cooney, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance amending Fairview Park Chapter 708 of the codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Councilman Sitterly.
Council President, I move that charter provision and Rule 49 requiring that ordinance 2105 be read at 3 separate meetings be suspended and that it be placed before council for emergency passage.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Simmerly,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Mrs. Adler,
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Motion carries. Prior to call for passage of ordinance 2105, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2105?
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Mrs. Adler,
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ordinance 2105 passes. That concludes our legislative agenda for this evening. We will now have reports and communications from the mayor and his directors. Mayor Cooney, if you're ready.
Thank you, Council President Kilbane. Good evening, everybody. This Thursday, we're going to have the grand opening for Bibimbap. It's a Korean, traditional Korean restaurant that's going to be opening up in Westgate. Our resident foodie, Commissioner Maynard, is on the call, and he's spoken very highly of their food, and we're excited to have them. I know they're excited to be here in Fairview Park. So that'll be this Thursday. I'm happy to report there's been a lot of progress at NASA. The drywall for the L building, which is the hotel, the hotel is been installed. Commissioner Maynard and Mike Greer from the building department have been up there for a lot of inspections. The K building, they have recently started framing there, so things are moving along quite nicely. I'd like to thank council for passing the legislation earlier with respect to the rental inspections. I talked to Commissioner Maynard, and we're going to be he's going to have those inspections starting up here in the next few weeks. And we'd like to congratulate our property maintenance inspector, Matt Kiley. Matt just recently passed his residential inspector license with the state of Ohio. He's in the process of submitting the final paperwork, and he should have that certificate here in the very near future. And he'll be able to do some residential inspections here in the very near future. So congratulations, Matt. It was something that he had studied for. It was supposed to take last year, and of course with COVID got pushed back, and anybody who studied for a licensure test, to have it delayed is pretty devastating, but he was able to pass, and we really congratulate him. He's going to, Commissioner Maynard and Mr. Greer are going to be pretty busy up at NASA, so this is going to enable Matt to do some of those inspections for them. I know he's been out in the field with Walton and Mike, so congratulations to Matt. We had a surprise vaccine clinic last Tuesday. I'd like to thank the Cuyahoga County Board of Health for reaching out to us to see if we could use those vaccines. As I think most everybody knows, there's time sensitive once they are opened. And we had somebody from the Board of Health reach out to Laura Brandos from the Senior Center about whether we could do that. She didn't have a lot of advance notice, but she was able to get 60 people vaccinated. It was kind of a whirlwind. She called me early in the afternoon to see if it was okay. I said, absolutely. And her and Kathy and Sandy really, they worked the phones, got a lot of people in there. And it was great to see. I actually stopped by to see how it was going. And it was honestly somewhat of a festive atmosphere. I know, it was people really excited to get it. A lot of our seniors, per the request of the Board of Health, we were looking to vaccinate seniors 80 and above. And most of the individuals who received those vaccines were in that category. I know some of our police department, some of our members of the police department also received it, as well as the senior life department. And, I was on a call with Governor DeWine, and he was advised that there were 3 vaccines that weren't used at a distribution in a small county in Western Ohio. And I could tell he was visibly upset that those 3 vaccines weren't distributed. And he made it very clear that, get these vaccines into people's arms. So kudos to the Board of Health for reaching out to us. Kudos to our staff to get those people vaccinated. Laura has, we've had a virtual book club last month, January. There's going to be another one this month here in February. Had a number of participants looking maybe to possibly combine that book club with North Olmsted. And we appreciate O'Neill Healthcare for their supplying the books to our seniors. We're going to have a fierce competition here later in the month. Our first Super Bowl. We're going to be making homemade soup. Laura, Kathy, Sandy, and myself are going to put on our chef hats and bring in some soup. And we're going to be delivering those to some of our seniors that get meals, and then other seniors who want to sign up. We'll have the soup ready to go and have them taste test it and then vote and let us know who gets the Super Bowl MVP here in Fairview Park. So there's information on how to sign up for that. But I appreciate Laura. It's just another way of reaching out to our seniors and keeping in contact with them, and appreciate her doing that. At the rec, Director Kemp is looking to bring back Silver Sneakers online March 1st. We've been contacted by a number of seniors who have interest in coming back and for some of our programming. Director Kemp and the staff there are looking to make sure that the proper protocols are followed and that it's safe for all involved. We'll have more details for you and for our members here in the near future. Youth sports registrations for volleyball and soccer have commenced. Please check with the rec department if you're interested in that. Believe it or not, we were talking earlier today about baseball and softball signups. So spring is may not seem like it, but it's around the corner. Also, at the rec, there's still some slots available for private and semi-private swim lessons. If people are interested in that, they should contact the aquatics coordinator, Eric Dennis, and they can set that up. Most of the spots that are available are on the weekend, and there's not many left. So if people are interested, I encourage you to contact the rec center, Gemini Center, as quickly as you can. The basketball reservations at the Gemini Center have been going well, have been very popular on the weekend. Director Kemp has gotten a number of compliments from people that those reservations are in place. People feel more comfortable coming up there, knowing that, number one, that they'll be able to participate, and number two, that they're, they feel safe when they're there with, by themselves or with family members, and not, with a group of people they may not have had any contact with. So appreciate their work in that regard. Have some sad news. Detective Ross Harrison, who served in the Fairview Park Police Department from 1968 through 1994, he recently passed away, and we extend our condolences to his family. The service department, the West 220th project continues. We're hoping that the actual service connections to the new main will be completed here in the next week or two. When that is concluded, the contractor for Dominion will be gone for a few months, and they will be returning in the spring for restoration work with respect to lawns, sidewalks, and the roads. So I drove by there recently, and I thought that the sidewalks for temporary work looked pretty good, but if it was permanent, it didn't look too good, and certainly it is not permanent. So they will be back in the spring, and we just ask people to, continue to have patience with that work, and it will be wrapped up here in the near future. Council President Kilbane, that concludes my report, and thank you, everybody, and have a good evening.
Thanks very much, Mayor. Director of Public Service and Development, Costello.
Just to reiterate, the temporary sidewalks on West 220 will be replaced. A lot of people have been asking us about that, but other than that, I have no report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Finance Director Single.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of council. Let me start by asking if you can hear me.
Yes.
Can hear you.
Great. All right, great. Thank you. Two items tonight. First, the administration continues to work on the 2021 budget. The intent is to finalize the budget early next week and send it up to City Council to begin the legislative process. Also, Mr. Chairman and members of council, the notes for the building improvements at the Gemini Center, mainly to repair the roof, will be sold this Wednesday, February 3rd. So I'll report back to council as to the results of the sale. And that concludes my report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Riley.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
Thank you, Director. City Engineer Kerber.
Thank you, Council President. I have three short items tonight. We're working on the existing conditions map for the 2021 waterline project. We continue to work with ODOT, working through their process to get authorization to bid the West 210th project. And we will begin field work in Bain Park this week for the restroom project. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Kerber. Okay, it's now time for our public session. Clerk Westbrooks, do we have somebody queued up for the public session?
Yes, I have Miss Mann and Miss Denton on here, and I'm going to unmute and put their video back up.
Okay. And I'll just have you state your name and address. Whoever's speaking first.
My name is Kim Mann. I live at 4828 West Park Drive in Fairview Park.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining us.
Sure. So I understand that there's two folks interested in the seat on the Shade Tree Advisory Council. As I said in my letter, I'm looking forward to serving the city in this capacity. I have strong environmental interests, and I recognize trees are an important part of fighting climate change and also for dealing with stormwater runoff, and for helping to cool down the city. So yeah, I'm looking forward to serving on this council.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan Denton. I live at 19162 Coffinberry, and I kind of volunteered to be a part of this committee as well, as I am interested in, continuing to maybe replace some of the plants and trees that we have seen lost in the Coffinberry neighborhood. I reached out to Mike to kind of start a project of replacing a lot of the trees that have gotten sick because of some illness over the past 5 years since I've lived here. And I wanted to kind of have a mission of getting those trees replaced so we can have, more trees in the city. I think it's really important. So kind of a green thumb plant lady here, and just thought it would be, a nice opportunity to give back to the community. And I appreciate you guys and your support.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Clerk Westbrook, is that it for the public session?
That's it. I did, just as you guys saw in your packet, that I actually spoke to Mr. Mills, I believe his last name is, after the committee Monday when it was decided that we would present people at public session. And I did let him know the date and that I would send him the meeting packet. He did tell me that he had a long-standing doctor's appointment. So he would not be able to attend, but as you can see, you did get his information, which he kind of briefly told about himself. So I just wanted to let you know that, or remind you that there were actually three people who were interested.
Okay. Thanks very much. Alrighty, we will now have miscellaneous business and comments from members of council. Councilman Simmerly.
Thanks, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Susan Denton to the Shade Tree Commission. Sorry.
Okay, I was going to open the floor for nominations when it got around to me.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Good. Then I don't have anything else tonight.
Okay. Councilman Minnick.
Is this for council comments, President?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to report the Board of Control met on Monday, January 25th, 2021 at 6:45 p.m. via Zoom to discuss 7 items. Arnold Felton, MD. Police Department requires medical services for prisoners in Fairview Park Jail, and Dr. Felton can be consulted for medical issues that are the Police Department's responsibility to provide prisoners. Provides consultation and assists police personnel in determining whether or not a prisoner needs transport to a hospital, which can save the city costs. The services include assistance with securing medication necessary for prisoners without necessitating a hospital visit, and can make other medical-based advertisements that promote prisoner safety and wellness. The annual cost is $6,000. Motion to pay the annual cost of $6,000 was approved 5-0. Treasurer, State of Ohio, Marks Radios. Fees associated with the police using Marks system with backup. If one cell tower is out of service, there are multiple nearby towers to offer a continuity of service. Marks radios allow police departments to communicate efficiently and effectively with each other. Annual fee is $5,600. Motion to pay the annual fee of $5,600 was approved 5-0. Treasurer, State of Ohio, leads access. These fees allow our police department personnel to access the lead system, a tool that provides timely information to police officers during routine duties. System is available only to those authorized personnel and must be certified. Annual fee $7,000. Motion to pay annual fee of $7,200 was approved 5-0. At Wells Police and Fire Equipment Company, Police Department vests. Purchasing 9 bulletproof vests, 3 for new hires and 4 to replace existing equipment with expiring warranties. Also purchasing gear for new hires, duty belts, holsters, pouches, etc. Total purchase $7,900. Motion to pay the purchase of $7,900 was approved 5-0. City of Westlake, annual reimbursement for tub grinder use. Regional collaboration for the service department's use of large limb grinder, Christmas trees, storm debris, etc., and disposal at City of Westlake facility. Will be billed for previous year's anticipated share of costs, $5,704.40, and billing is usually in February of each year. Motion to pay previous year's usage costs of $5,704 and anticipate billing in February of each year was approved 5-0. McKay Engineering, plan review for building department. Fees for service review of civil engineering plans for improvement projects prior to issuing permits, pools, final grades, changing grade, additions, and commercial stormwater review, new sewer constructions. Charge per review on an as-needed basis. Annual purchase order request is $6,000. Motion to pay on an as-needed basis and the annual purchase order request of $6,000 was approved 5-0. Nick Delgaitis, architectural review of plans submitted to building department. Annual fees for reviewing commercial structures regarding building code compliance, electric, plumbing, structural, etc. State requires support service for a building commissioner. Charged on an as-needed basis, and this annual purchase order is for $10,000. Motion to pay on an as-needed basis, and this annual purchase order request is for $10,000 was approved 5-0. This completes my comments this evening, Council President.
That counts 1 minute. Councilwoman Adler.
Yes, first of all, I want to extend my congratulations to Laura Brondis on being appointed formally this evening as our Senior Life Director. Laura, you've done a tremendous job. I know with the transition taking place and in a time in which there was so much unrest, it was nice for our seniors to at least know that they had somebody that would bring them through this and pick up the ball and run with it as the restrictions continue to hopefully be lightening up as the vaccine is, comes in place. So congratulations, Laura. And then also, I did want to ask, with regard to the Shade Tree Commission, are we basically bound to a set number on this commission? Council President?
Yes, we are. Yeah, the
Okay.
mayor has 3 appointments and council has 3 appointments.
Okay, thank you. And then I want to extend my sympathies to Councilwoman King on the passing of her mother. I know that her mother obviously left quite a legacy with Bridget and all of her siblings and the many grandchildren. So my condolences to Bridget and her family. And then lastly, I do have to know what Mayor Cooney's soup of choice will be for the Super Bowl of contest.
Well, it may surprise you, Italian wedding soup, actually.
Okay.
So,
Okay, pretty good call for an Irishman.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you gonna roll those little
All right,
meatballs
Mayor.
up?
I'm sorry there.
You gonna roll those little meatballs up?
Oh, I've been busy all month.
Yeah, he's stockpiling the cans of Progresso at Giant Eagle, I think.
Right, yes. A lot of breadcrumbs.
Okay. All right, that concludes things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Waring.
Thank you, Council President. So first of all, Italian wedding soup is great, but really it's stuffed pepper soup that we need to be passing out. I mean, it's winter, guys. Like, we need something hearty, right? First of all, I think that's an amazing idea. So congratulations on that. I did want to just remind everybody that January is National Blood Donor Month. And given the holidays and the winter storms across the country, the need for blood is constant, but especially needed right now. So if you are able to roll up your sleeve and give a blood donation this month, I highly encourage you to do so. And then I also wanted to ask a quick question. I just got an email from a constituent who's asking how she can register for Meals on Wheels. And I guess I'm wondering, should I send her to Kathy or to Laura? Who should I send her to?
Meals on Wheels has a phone number which I can send to you, and she can contact them directly. So they deliver 5 days a week, and then if she's we also deliver meals on Wednesdays, 3 frozen meals, some fruit, milk, and bread. And that was, if the constituent's 60 years or older, she would qualify for that as well if she was interested. And we do
Yeah,
have
if you
some.
don't mind, send me that phone number and I'll reach out.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was all for me this evening. Thank you.
Councilwoman King.
Thank you, Council President. I just would like to thank everyone who reached out to me this past week. I really appreciate all the support. And I want to remind everyone to please wear a mask. Everyone thought maybe COVID would be going away, and it is very real for the people who have it, and it's very real for the people who have to live with the people who have it. So mask up and be careful. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Berger.
Last week I was able to got the opportunity to participate in, I think it was basically a focus group. It was what Councilwoman Waring sent out pertaining to the schools and the search for the superintendent. And so it was a Zoom meeting, and it was a lot of good discussion. There was a lot of people involved in the community. So I just want to extend appreciation to the school board in their efforts. The consulting group was called Finding Leaders. The way that it was pretty much described was it's a group of retired superintendents that help in the search for a new superintendent. And so there was a large discussion. It was a good discussion. It was a very warm and inviting environment for people to discuss, concerns pertaining to the search for the new superintendent. So I just want to give compliments to the school board and how they're approaching that. And again, thank Councilwoman Waring for sending that out to us because it was a very good discussion. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the chair will now open the floor for nominations to fill council's appointment to the Shade Tree Advisory Council.
Council President,
That's Councilwoman King.
I would like to nominate Kim Mann for the Shade Tree Commission.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any further nominations?
Council President,
Councilman Smiley,
I'd like to nominate Susan Denton.
Susan Denton. Okay. All right. Are there any further nominations? Okay, hearing none, the chair closes the floor to nominations. And the chair will now entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Kim Mann to the Shade Tree Advisory Council.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay,
Yeah, I have one thing I wanted to ask to see. In the beginning of this, I brought up a couple of concerns I had as far as procedural due process on this. And I was wondering if I could request council that I abstain from voting for the concerns that I brought up earlier in the meeting.
You can abstain when you're called, if you'd like.
Okay. Does that have to be voted on, or can it just be?
No, just abstain.
Okay.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to appoint Kim Mann to the Shade Tree Advisory Council?
Mr. Simmerly,
No.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Mrs. Adler,
Yes.
Mr. Kilbane,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Abstain.
Okay, the motion carries Congratulations, Ms. Mann. Welcome to the Shade Tree Advisory Council.
Thank you. Appreciate this opportunity to serve. Appreciate meeting all of you on council tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering to sit on this very important city commission. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, the chair will now entertain a motion to accept the mayor's appointment of Laura Brandos as a senior life director.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on the motion to accept the mayor's appointment of Laura Brandos as the new senior life director?
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Mrs. Adler.
Yes.
Mr. Cobain.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Laura. You've been doing a great job and we look forward to having you around.
Thank you. I do know she's not a very good soup maker. That's another good thing too, so.
So you're gonna step in there. Congratulations. Congrats, Laura. Thank you. I'd like to also congratulate Matt Kiley on his achievement. It's a skill that will be put to good use in the city. And I would also like to finally give my condolences to Bridget and her family. I'm very
Thank
sorry
you.
for the loss, Bridget.
Thank you.
Okay, there being nothing further to come before this council this evening, the chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please call roll on the motion to adjourn.
Mr. Simmerly.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Mrs. Adler.
Yes.
Mr. Cobain.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Council is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Night.
Good night.